Good afternoon. Welcome to the Tash and Bex Flex.
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Oh, I just noticed I've got a weird bit sticking out of my hair now.
So that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just twiddle it.
Can you stick it back in?
Ooh. Ooh.
Thank you, Tash.
Firmly back in.
Oh, that's better. Tash and I have got a very exciting. Well, it's not. Is it exciting?
I think it's very intriguing, and yeah, it's mind blowing.
Mind blowing.
I think it's the thing to say.
I mean, basically, we started looking at the fact that we've been looking at media and personalities in the media for a while, haven't we, Tash?
We have.
Since last summer, when we started looking at we looked at the work of Deborah Dobson first, didn't we?
That's right.
With the actor-based reality, which you found.
Yes, but she's a bit of a dodgy one, wasn't she?
Well,
a bit of a gatekeeper, probably.
She accused me of having a skin suit and being my friend Deborah, didn't she? Do you remember?
She did, didn't she?
Yeah.
She took it to a whole nother level, shall we say?
She did. She took it to a whole nother level. She got a bit paranoid.
Got a bit strange. But she could pique the interest in the actor-based reality, basically.
And also we've been looking at the genders, hadn't we?
Yeah.
And how
inversions
and people who had, perhaps been born a boy and then raised as a girl and
being done at different levels, like sometimes in vitro and sometimes in utero as a test tube made.
Yeah.
So we believe that there is a level of that going on.
There is a level of that going on.
But above that, we believe that there's
something more.
Potentially something more.
Well, what happened was when we were looking at the gender inversions, you discovered when we were looking at the skulls that there was we summarised just our own personal thoughts that there was a race that was not male and not female, like kind of androgynous. Because they would have male markers but then a female skull. That's right.
Yes, that's the main thing. It was the female skull seemed to favour all of them, whether they had predominantly male or female biomarkers, that this sort of female skull.
So then we thought our conclusion was that there's kind of another race that aren't quite like us, that look human, but
so like the Nephilim.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
Fallen angels. So basically the serpent seed.
Yeah. And then obviously we went off and looked at the bloodlines and sort of what that might be. So that was kind of the last 6 months of work of last year, really. But we've got more and more into the actor-based reality.
Yes, it's to me it's evidently clear.
Yes,
that we live in an actor-based reality and people play multiple roles.
Yeah, and the more you look, and then when you start to see the signs, like now I don't watch TV anyway, but like I was saying,
but now it's a project if we do.
Well, yes, I'm looking. Oh, who are they?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Who do they sound like? Who do they remind me of? Because there's so many actresses and actors remind you, don't they, of other people?
Yeah.
We always say, oh, she really reminds me of such and such. Like Natalie Portman reminds me of the one that people used to, Keira Knightley.
Yes.
And you've got all of these people, and then the one 11 from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
They're all quite a similar.
She's Natalie Portman, isn't she?
I think so. Yeah. So basically, the amount of times you say, "Oh God, that person really reminds me of that person."
Ask yourself why that person reminds you of that person.
Because in real life, how many people actually remind you of other people? We don't meet that many people who really remind us of other people, do we?
No, it's quite rare.
It's quite a rarity to have a doppelganger or somebody where you think, gosh, that person. You get it every now and then, like a familiar mannerism maybe.
But I mean, I had friends that emigrated to New Zealand, and I remember them emailing me saying, "Oh God, there was a girl on the bus that looked like me. She was on the bus every morning, and had my mannerisms and all that." But that was like the other side of the world.
Yeah, it's certainly not familiar. It's not something that you talk about all the time.
Not exact replica of me, just something that reminded them of
and we see a lot more people than what we see on TV in real life. So you see a lot more doppelgangers.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? Because you think about.
If there were that many people that similar, it would be all.
Yeah, it'd be very it would all be like, oh yeah, that's my doppelganger.
That's my doppelganger.
So there's definitely an element, in my opinion, of that, and also we can all believe like that. Say actresses can play all these multiple roles in films with all these multiple special effects, but people can't seem to get their heads around they're doing that in real life.
Yeah. So if they're doing it in Hollywood, if they're doing CGI
and acting,
holographic faces. All of the special effects and green screens and then they're doing it on mainstream
and
TV.
what do they do in Hollywood when they get their actors? They cast them, don't they? So a cast, you can cast and mould a face.
Yeah.
Just, interesting use of words, isn't it?
It is, yes. So, earlier on today, we had a lovely chat with Lee, didn't we, Tash?
We did, Sparky Lee. So we've been sharing his stuff on our channel and
on our Telegram channel.
And some people have absolutely loved it and can totally relate to it. Other people are getting incredibly triggered,
finding it very difficult to get their head around,
and almost getting a little bit angry. Would you say? And rather than being open to thinking about it, it's like
no.
That is not the case.
And we get that it's difficult because if you accept that this happens, then that means everything you watch on the TV is a lie.
And sport. But then you do watch that on the TV, because how many people watch I mean, I know people have season tickets, but on the whole, you don't watch live football all the time, do you?
No.
You know, high level sports anyway, we're talking about, aren't we there?
Yes, elite.
Elite sports.
Elite sports.
So it'd be British TV, American TV, all the films, all the sitcoms, soap operas, news, YouTube influencers, YouTube gurus, YouTube flat earthers, YouTube. We're talking about all of these characters with a presence. No, Lee explained, didn't he, that
if you put their name in to Google and images come up, then they're characters.
They're a character.
Because if you put, we tried it, if we put our names in, it didn't even bring up a channel, did it?
Didn't bring up anything, just some weird, like little cartoons came up.
Yeah, so, but we put in a certain person earlier, we tried, just the truther that's quite well known, quite a big channel, instantly loads of images.
Yeah, images of that person just sort of, you know, with their top off, posing images, like stock photo style images.
Exactly, stock photos, that's the way to describe it. And also, let's not forget that we already know that the media, all of the media on this planet is owned by one of the families.
Yes.
In the 13th bloodline. So the media is basically...
another movie.
Well, all of it.
It's just all a movie.
There isn't like, oh, this bit's right, this bit's true.
Morning TV.
All of it.
Children's TV is programming in a different way, but it is all there to manipulate the mind, and it's all a load of bollocks. Basically.
So that's why I find it strange that people struggle with this concept.
Yeah.
Because if you know that the media is run by the cabal, then why would you trust any of it?
Yeah, trust what they say.
Yeah.
And then why would you believe that these people can be amazing actors, but they can't act day to day to us as well?
Yes.
Really strange, isn't it? Like that because they've been conditioned.
Yeah,
there's a line like that that says that yes, they can act, but no, they don't act.
Yeah.
You know?
But they only do it when
they wouldn't do it. Yes, they wouldn't do it away from that. Yeah. So we spoke to Lee, and he has basically been investigating this type of work, activist reality, for 10 years now. And he was first influenced by somebody called, I think it's Aware One, which is this guy. So I think his name is Goldberg, but his thing that he used, his handle, and that's where he first started getting interested in his stuff and sort of following his stuff. And then he looked into it himself and found the connections, if you like. Because he then realised that this guy was more than likely a gatekeeper. And so he would tell the truth. So he was very good at planting the seeds, but then he'd go one step ahead and trash all the work by putting in ludicrous connections.
Which controlled op do.
Yes.
That's their job, as we've talked about before in our housekeeping video, I think, on our channel. You know, this is how controlled op works. They give you 90% truth, and then that 10% just to trash it all. That's totally
Sorry about
ridiculous.
Rora, but we're having a fight with a gorilla on the floor.
Those noises are Rora.
It is Rora. I'm having a gorilla fight. Yes, so as you do, a gorilla fight. And he did have a higher. His first YouTube channel did get shut down. So his following is smaller, but we'll put a link to his channel under this anyway, because I think his work's very well researched.
His work is amazing.
And it's nice, isn't it? He does all the nice videograph stuff.
And let's not forget, when you're heavily shadow banned as Lee is, and we are, they take off your subs and they take off your views.
Yes, so it looks like he's sort of insignificant.
Yeah.
And also when he comments on other people's stuff, they start attacking him. So he's aware, there's someone, is it Soul Power 75?
Yeah.
Is another sort of person exposing the act-based reality. And Lee will quite often comment on something that he feels to be incorrect, and he does seem to get attacked back by these people. So that's another sign that if you start to engage with these people and they are really anti what you're saying rather than being open to what you're saying, then they're likely to be gatekeepers again. Because you know, this is it's a moving thing, isn't it? We're all learning and discovering. So to suddenly shut people down is a sure sign.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
It's not a normal reaction to a
No,
comment.
especially to not something like this where it's
being discussed. It's open to
well, not interpretation. It's open to change, and it's growing. You get to the bottom of one, and then you realise you connect it to another group of people, which is what Lee was saying. How he's worked it out. You know, he still to this day.
He's still learning. He said that.
Learning and still gets completely like side-blinded by it all. It's like,
yeah, he gets his head blown off.
He gets his head blown off as well. So where should we start?
Gosh.
So, was it worth saying as well? Obviously, again, we feel like this, and Lee was down this same thing. We can't be 100% sure, but it's a chance that whoever's doing this, they are immortal in some shape or form, because it can be traced right back to.
And they live for so long.
So whether it's immortal or whether they just live longer or they're just something.
Well, I when we were talking to Lee, I mentioned about vampires and that archetypal, that story of these, you know, you get bitten and then you are a vampire.
Yes.
But then you live forever. The vampire never dies.
Never
as long
dies.
as it has
the blood
to keep itself going, it's eternal. And I just think that's an analogy.
It is. And Lee said something about the Philosopher's Stone. What was it? I don't know anything about what was the Philosopher's Stone.
Where did I write this? My bloody...
I'm doing all these scuba free notes again. Is it that way? Yes, so the alchemy.
The one
if you go backwards, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was sort of saying, how do they live so long? So is it
spell casting, alchemy, Egyptian magic? You know, possibly another species, which we've certainly highlighted that as a possibility. Do they have a youth elixir? I mean, we know of the one that everybody knows about, beginning with A. And they show us through these archetypes of vampires
in these movies.
Yeah.
And the Philosopher's Stone. So that's like a...
We're going to do a dig on that, aren't we? Because most people just know it from Harry Potter.
Isn't that something to do with an exila? You know,
it's about an elixir.
Elixir that kind of gives you
eternal life.
Yeah.
Eternal life. But we're going to do a bit of a dig on that, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll definitely do a dig on that one.
But so it started off by we chatted a little bit about who these people were.
I suppose maybe it's worth saying. So the royals, all the European royals are fundamental in all of it. However, they're not necessarily the base characters. It's likely that the Rothschilds and the black nobility and all of these hidden families who we made out that you can't find pictures of them.
Well, yeah, and
their wives or their children. They're all of those families are so hidden. So what perfect people to be base characters?
Yeah.
If you've got the base characters as people that can't be researched or found out about,
no one knows what they really look like.
No one knows what they really look like. You've kind of got yourself a good.
Well, a good base. Yeah, you made a good start, haven't you? Because it's going to be difficult for people to go, oh, that looks like so and so, because no one knows what so and so looks like. But then it seems that their first character are the royals.
And the European royals.
European royal family.
So like
very
the Spanish,
much so.
Swedish, Dutch,
Danish, Dutch, British.
And also it's worth pointing out at this point that, you know, there are no real American characters. They're all played by these European characters.
Yeah. So he started off by saying...
Should we do that one?
That Jacob Rothschild also plays Prince Charles.
Which, when you look at them, they look related.
Yes. And also that Prince Charles, if you look back at old historical portraits of earlier Charleses...
Yes.
Same guy. So, and he also said, which is interesting, if there's a film about a deceased hero, for example, the film about Jim Morrison, they will play themselves, which is really strange.
Yes.
Which means...
Because they're not really dead, obviously, because they're all playing characters.
Yes. They'll have a younger, refreshed vibe, but basically they will play themselves. So that was Val Kilmer that played Jim Morrison, but obviously it was actually Jim Morrison.
It's actually Jim Morrison. So Charles, we went... This was brilliant, wasn't it? Where did we find it?
Goes that way, doesn't it? Are you looking for Charles's
the other ones.
Did
we write them down?
I'm sure I did.
Sorry, we literally were talking and trying to...
And I was scribbling. Prince Andrew there. Is that on?
I know that. Did we say it was Jacob Rothschild? No, that's a different one again. Which Rothschild did we say was Prince Charles? Jacob. Yep. So here he is. So Jacob Rothschild. We also have Jimmy Savile, Joe Strummer from The Clash,
Steve Coogan.
So that's all played by that same character. So the base character potentially being Jacob Rothschild. Now, interesting what he said about anyone to do with bands. Who was the main guitarist?
Oh, I thought it was Jake. Where is it? Oh, it's Prince Frederick. I know that he does every boy band. He's Gary Barlow, and he does every boy band.
Like New Kids on the Block
and all that. He's in every single boy band.
And he's a Danish royal family, isn't he, Prince Frederick? Is that right?
Yeah, he's Danish, and his brother, I can't remember his name. Plays
Ryan Giggs, Benedict.
And Benedict Cumberbatch.
Who's Benedict Cumberbatch? Do we know?
He looks like a little
looks like Ryan Giggs.
He looks like a mole to me. He's got really small eyes.
I don't know who he is.
I'll Google him, shall I? So show you.
See what
I'll show you him.
Show you what he looks like.
He looks like a water bowl to me.
And what does he do in life?
He's a actor. You'll know him when you see him. God, why has it done that? Oh. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Good name.
Yeah, I wonder who thinks of their names. Go on then.
Do you not want to come up?
It's not doing it. Right, okay.
Right. So doesn't want to do it. So let's talk about Charles's brother. Should we go with old Andrew?
Andy Pandy.
Andy Pandy.
Where is he? He's over here, isn't he?
Here we go.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So, Prince Andrew. Shall we do... Okay, which one should we go for first? So, Boris Johnson, Matt Lucas, Ike, as in David Icke, and Gary Glitter are all played by Prince Andrew. We don't know who the base character is back from Prince Andrew. That's only been put back as far as there, hasn't it? Which would then mean... So he made a point that they obviously stay within their families when they play different families. So they kind of stay in like an acting troupe, if you like. So you'll find the same characters. Oh, he's weird. That looks like a mask.
Doesn't it?
Oh, put that up there. Oh, so that's Cumberbatch, whatever it's called.
Benedict
so that's
Cumberbatch.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a funny looking man.
That's not a normal face, is it? That's really strange.
Does look a bit weird.
Oh yeah, no, that's very weird. That looks stretched and very peculiar. Very peculiar indeed. Yeah, so they stay in these acting troupes, so that would obviously mean that... Right,
yeah, so basically when they're in their troupe, they're in their family.
Yep.
So if it's, say Prince Andrew is playing Boris, so Boris's new wife is actually Beatrice. So that's she swapped from a daughter to a wife, but normally the wife stays the wife.
Yeah.
The child stays the child.
But then they had to do that whole Boris had a much younger. That was all a bit of a weird psyop, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Beatrice was a better age match, I suppose. And then you've got Matt Lucas. So Prince Andrew also plays Matt Lucas. And if you look at his husband who died, it is also Beatrice and Boris's new wife. And Gareth Icke is the same. Beatrice.
It's the same character. So this is where we get into this point that the whole transgender thing. It's not so much transgender, or it isn't transgender. It's multiple roles. And it's also worth putting out here that it's very, very unlikely that there are any black stars, politicians, newsreaders, any of them. They'll all be played by these white people, these characters. So that's quite interesting. And then we thought, so then let's talk about the Queen. So he's just like, well, of course, David Attenborough's the Queen. And then along with that, you then get Lucy Ball.
Yeah,
Lucille Ball.
Yeah, very famous American, wasn't she?
Lady.
Actress. And I love this one.
And Elton John.
And there is actually one where he does the Queen and Elton John's face, and they are very, very similar. Yeah, it's completely.
And the Queen also plays the head of the European Council, which is Ursula somebody.
We can
not sure what her surname is.
Yeah.
And then we also, we'll be talking very candidly with Lee, and we're saying like, obviously sometimes you'd see some of these same people. because obviously Elton John was very connected to Princess Diana, so would have been with the Queen in pictures and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so there's an awful lot of trickery. And even things like audiences, a lot of it, yes, you can go to places and see audiences and see people, but a lot of the time it's just green screened, isn't it, with audiences put to one side.
Yeah.
The actual people really there is much, much smaller than what they portray.
If at all.
If at all. So when these people are photographed together, I mean, Photoshop's too much of a shoddy word to use because that's very inferior in comparison to what they do, to what they're able to do.
Absolutely.
So what's she called?
Ursula von
Oh, yes.
der Leyen.
Ursula von der Leyen.
Mm.
So then obviously you've then got Prince Philip. So Prince Philip
plays Cameron.
As in David Cameron?
I think so, yeah.
Is that May play Diana or somebody May?
Diana is Odine Rothschild, so Princess Diana, and she also did play, Theresa May.
So she played same body shapes, definitely, haven't they? All of those ones. And then if you go over to America, you've obviously got Trump, Biden, Bush, and Bush's father are all the same person.
The same.
Again, I don't know who the base character for that person is. I don't know who is Eric Debris. Is he somebody in the media? Debert.
Don't know. I'm going to look him up.
Look up. So they all play the same person, which then means that obviously Hunter Biden and Trump's son,
but we couldn't,
would be the same. Is it Eric? Is he called Eric, Trump's son? I don't know who that one is.
So that's him, Eric Dubay.
Oh, it's the flat earther. That's right, because of course they're also using truthers within this thing because they're doing it that way. Yeah, so Eric Debert, is it? Dubay. Yeah, so Eric Dubay basically is a flat earth
guy with a big channel.
With a big channel.
Yeah, he's got a very big channel.
Got a very big channel.
Massive channel.
So that would mean, Hunter Biden and Eric. He's called Eric, isn't he? Eric Trump. No, there's another one. There's two sons. So he's got Eric.
Let me go.
Eric's the funny one, looking one that looks like a girl.
Oh, why does he keep doing that? Did you just see that?
Yeah, it doesn't want you to.
No, stop playing up. Trump's sons.
God, why would you say I should know what his name is? He talks all the time.
I asked for Trump's sons.
There's no. Trump's guns has come up.
I don't want to know about Trump's guns.
There's loads of Trump's guns. Anyway, there's two of them. There is one called Eric. And actually, if you think about Hunter Biden and Trump's son, that's always around everywhere. That's Eric. That's the weird one. And the other one's called...
Here, down here, what are they?
That's Eric. Oh, he's really weird.
He has 5 children. Let's have a look at that.
God, why is it so hard to get information up? That...
Fuck off. Don't accept. Right. So which ones?
Donald Jr., that's what he's called, isn't he?
Donald Jr.
Yes, that's the one. So Hunter and Donna, they would be the same. And then you've got...
So that is Hunter Biden.
No, I think that's Eric, that one.
Yeah, but what I mean is they play the same...
I thought it was Hunter Biden and Donald Trump Jr.
That is Donald Trump Jr.
It's not that one, it's the other one.
So it's Eric.
Must be Eric. So look at Eric. I thought Eric was the one that looked like that, but...
Ivanka?
Well, who knows who plays her?
I think it's a strange...
It's not coming up with him anyway.
That one?
No, it's definitely not that one. So it must be the other one. He just does. Yeah, doesn't that one look weird? I know. Show that one up there. That's Eric Trump. I mean, what is that?
They're very strange. But yeah, so it must be the other one.
But that's just not a great picture of him.
No, but I just think he could easily play Hunter, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Another. No, it won't load pictures. There it is.
It doesn't look like him. That looks like the other one.
Which one?
The one that we just looked at a minute ago.
Well, that's the other son, apparently. So he plays Hunter Biden and he plays... What was the other one?
Hunter Biden and him. That's the only two we had for that, yeah.
We only had 2, but...
Oh, no, and Eric, maybe that's the flat earther, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, so he plays Eric.
So he plays the flat earther.
He plays the flat earther as well.
Yeah, Hunter Biden. And then it's the Bush, the Trump.
The Bush-Trump Baden Triangle.
That's the one. All the same people. So we did ask Lee about height and stuff like that, and that was something he said he didn't really. And it's some kind of trickery.
Yeah, it's
something.
Cameras and perspectives and
Perspectives.
lighting as well, I think.
Which can change things, right?
Yes.
So, and there's ways around it. Yeah, so what did he say? Yeah, sort of camera shots and angles, and obviously they have ways around it that we just don't really understand.
Well, they have technology that we don't have yet.
So we did the Jacob Rothschild one, didn't we? We did that
one.
Yeah. Oh, we asked how. So basically, Lee's got an amazing eye for detail, it seems. And what he first off, so over this period of 10 years, remember this is, it started off with the ear biometrics and certain facial markers, but then he realised he was seeing a pattern in the way these families sort of.
And they use repetition, they use numbers,
yeah,
because it's all part of the spell casting and stuff. So that also flags things up.
Yeah, and he can see it, can't he? So he can see, I don't know, let's say a sitcom or something like that, and he can quite quickly work out who the troupe acting family is, who the base actors are. Or, I mean, the thing is, it's very hard to get to the base actors, but we'll go with the royals being.
There's probably another behind.
Yeah, but they're the ones that were more sort of like.
They said Prince Charles plays Al Pacino as well.
The Kardashians are the royalty from Monaco.
Yeah.
So Epstein, that was quite an interesting one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Epstein, he plays Seinfeld. He plays Obama. He pretty much plays every black sports
boxing,
like particularly in boxing. Yeah, Muhammad Ali. In the UK, he's playing the Joshua. I don't know boxers, and David Hay, I don't know.
And he also did the Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
I remember with the basketball player.
And
he had
Will Smith.
Will Smith as well.
And Princess Albert of Monaco played Martin Luther King. And that's when he said that there are no black people in there.
And we kind of think that they do record it in blocks like they would like they would any film. So they'd go off on
go off for a few weeks and do loads and loads of chunks of filming. And because they create the media narrative, they also create the fashions and all of this.
So they can do it a year in advance,
they can
2
do
years
it
in
way
advance.
in advance, knowing that they will bring out those fashions and all of that.
To make it all fit in with whatever they got. And they've got the green screen, so they can have pretty much anything on the back of that anyway, couldn't they? So then we went into Hitler.
This is a really interesting one, yeah.
It's like, wow. So Hitler and Walt Disney, I think that's quite a common thing that people can kind of get their head around.
That Hitler was Walt,
and then JF Kennedy as well.
Yeah, and
the main character would be
Edward VII, and that's why he abdicated.
So he could play Kennedy.
Yeah, no, so he could play Hitler.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just at the exact timing for the war, wasn't it?
And also this Walter Cronkite, who we don't really know, but he was a top anchor through the war and broke the news about Kennedy's death. So he
broke his own death.
Again,
which is like they play their own character when they're doing a
They like to do it all from start to finish, and well, they're laughing at us as well. So it kind of
it makes sense. It adds to the mockery.
Yeah,
I guess. So, but basically, Jacob Rothschild is a major player in this. It seems
he's loads. Now he is the one that does all the top guitarists that you're talking about. So basically, he was saying any band.
Their main guitarist, so we're talking I don't know what, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin,
the Rolling Stones. He mentioned the Rolling Stones, didn't he?
So all of their top guitarists are all played by Prince Charles.
By Prince. Yeah, I mean it's just mind blowing, isn't it? Prince Andrew and Prince Wilhelm, the Dutch.
That's the other.
Are the same.
Yeah. So his theory was actually it might even be a little bit smaller than we realise, and actually. The UK and the Dutch royal family could possibly be the same, and that could go the same for the other ones as well. So it could be bringing this acting troupe into an even smaller margin of people.
And all of that celebral world is just tiny,
absolutely tiny. Yeah, it's just in our faces everywhere.
They're just characters, aren't they?
All characters. And he was saying again, it was obviously the makeup and the prosthetics and the lighting and lens distortion as well. And it was interesting how he was saying about. Like ancient psychology is used as well. Yeah,
these entities have been around for thousands of years, and they have they're ancient psychologists. They know how to trick the human mind.
And it's done a very good job, isn't it? And everyone just goes sort of straight into it. Who's Max Eigen? I don't know who that is. Who's he?
Don't know, but he's the Duke of Kent.
He's the Duke of Kent.
And now Prince Harry and Prince Wales.
Yeah, he didn't have too much on them.
No, but Prince William plays Mark Zuckerberg,
which kind of it gives me the like ugh.
Yeah,
creepies.
And Harry plays
Jake, the another flat Earth guy. So they do like to chuck this whole flat Earth thing. You know, when we're saying about yes, there is the flat Earth thing is a psyop to the extent that it's put out by these people. The whole flat Earth society, it is a psyop, but that does not mean to say that we are living on a spinning globe.
Well, I think I've got to the point where I don't think I'm living on a spinning globe, but I don't know what I am living on. No, but I know it's not
simulation.
Spinning. It feels stationary to me.
Yeah, it feels stationary. I don't. The whole spinning and the Big Bang and heliocentric stuff is just insane. There's, it's mad. But what they've done is they created this flat Earth thing to make it even more ridiculous.
Yeah, to rubbish it being anything other than a ball.
Yes, exactly.
So they often have characters that are YouTubers and influencers as well to keep those psyops going.
Yeah, who keep this.
So Prince Harry is Jake, the flat Earth guy, and Brian Hardis.
And a baseball player, but you can't remember the name. And both of them have prominent newsreading roles in America.
Oh yeah, that was it. Both are newsreaders.
Yeah, both of them do that.
And that was for us, wasn't it? That bit. What's that? Roger Bacon. Oh yeah. So he was talking about that.
That was a reset thing.
Yeah, reset thing. So the Crusades were not about Christianity. They were about collating knowledge.
After the flood, wasn't it? Getting all the knowledge back.
Yeah, and the trans investigation is pretty much a cover. It's another psyop
for the androgynous.
For the androgynous, for the androgyns.
Oh, that was interesting. He said the timelines work as well. So when Prince Andrew came out of the public eye because the whole Epstein
scandal
psyop was basically because he was needed as Boris.
Yeah.
So he had to, and obviously it was
a lot of out of the public eye.
Yeah.
And then went straight into his role as Boris.
Lady Diana, so a Scarface actress we've got, so we didn't know
she was the main lead, but I couldn't remember her name, the female lead.
Ondine Rothschild. I've seen pictures of her, and obviously Camilla Parker Bowles. So they've all got very similar body types, haven't they? Her, they're very long, sort of lean.
Long, lean, no waist, no hips.
And then a lot of people said that Miliana, whatever she's called, Trump was Lady Di.
Melania Trump.
She's Stephanie of Monaco.
Yeah.
So that's a different. So Stephanie of Monaco would also play when you think about Trump, Bush.
Yeah.
So she would actually tie into all of their female counterparts as well.
Yeah. Because the husband and wife, they stay together.
They stay together, yeah, and they play. So quite often, if they divorce or they die off or whatever happens, they just recreate it with the same person, new character.
So they'll marry again, but it will be the same
person. So silly, isn't
it's just to encourage us to get divorced and be married, and
story and
keep the intrigue. The interest.
Just keep it like then it can go in OK magazine, can't it? And then it can go, and then everyone goes, oh my god, look at that wonderful wedding, and it gives this whole illusion of
them having a real life.
Absolute bollocks.
Yeah.
So we did that one. So this is the interesting thing. So how the sitcoms.
Yeah, because we asked about TV, didn't we?
We asked about British TV, because I think I was sort of saying to Leo, can we do something that's more British? And he reminded me, these are all British.
Yeah, all the American stuff.
So the Trumps, of course, even though it comes across as American, it's not. It's a British production.
Yeah.
They made Hollywood for this production in America. That was just where they happened to base it. Hollywood was made for.
Yes, for this purpose.
To fool us in our everyday life sort of thing.
The deception.
So the royal family, the Swedish royal family, basically played the royal family.
On the TV.
On the TV. So let's get this right. So we had
Ralph Little, who played the son in, and we're not talking about the royal family.
Talking about
thing on Netflix. We're talking about
he used to sit on the sofa, didn't he?
My ass. What was his name?
My ass.
Jim. What's his face?
Why haven't we got him written down?
I don't know, but anyway, any British people will not remember the royal family, the original royal family. That was
So
Anyway,
Ralph Little,
he
is
played
the
the son.
character. He is also Michael Jackson and Tupac.
Ewan McGregor, Prince, Lenny Kravitz,
Johnny Depp,
Bob Marley, Russell Brand,
and Martin the Flat Earther is another UK Flat Earther.
So he plays a lot of people.
And then it also went in to say that, so basically,
John Cleese plays King Juan Carlos.
So King Juan plays John Cleese.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, sorry, other way round.
The son of Franco. Now,
and then Eric Idle plays a lot of dictators from the 20th century. So if you look at the Spanish Revolution, King Juan Carlos was Franco in the Spanish Revolution. So then we talked a little bit about previous resets, which is something we want to cover this year. We're going to do a series called Twisted History and look at these resets. The Spanish Revolution. We're talking about the French Revolution the other
Great
day.
Fire London.
We're going to look at the resets and see who was around. But it's just funny because Eric Idle plays all these dictators.
The 20th century.
And so you could basically Monty Python, the team from Monty Python, have been involved in all of these sort of takeovers and revolutions and stuff.
And then also Richard Tomlinson, who is the guy from the royal family.
Yeah.
He also plays Del Boy. So basically, Only Fools and Horses is also played by the Swedish royal family. And that character, he's called Gustav of Sweden, plays Del Boy, and Rich Tomlinson.
Rick.
The one who sits on there. That's it.
It's Rick.
Rick.
Yeah.
And the manager Sven Eriksson as well is also played by Gustav.
The football manager is also and then if you look at he was talking about soap.
We've got into soap operas.
So looking at EastEnders, Ross Kemp. Does he play him?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, and also
that's the base character.
Yeah, Alex
von something. You didn't know his surname, but he's a black nobility of Danish German bloodline.
Yeah.
So
and Phil Mitchell from EastEnders plays Dwight Eisenhower in the war. He was Second World War, wasn't it?
That one? So the mum Peggy Mitchell's also connected. Yeah. So she is. What's that say?
It is
.com.soaps. The only way you wrote that.
Why did I write that? But basically,
Peggy Mitchell is part of this nobility, black nobility. So that would be a family tree.
Yeah. And so they will then.
So they'd have EastEnders. So it'd be good for somebody to look into Coronation Street.
Well, I was watching it. I told you the other day at my dad's, and I saw a guy on the sofa. He had a dog collar, and I don't know who the characters are because I don't watch it. But I just said to my brother, "Why is Ant McPartlin from Ant and Dec in Coronation Street?"
Yeah. The voice is identical. Is it all the face?
And just markers, the eyes, the nose.
Just look like
He's got a beard in it, and he wears a dog collar. But yeah, so now when I am on the rare occasions I'm watching television, I'm seeing it for myself. Prince Frederick. Oh no, we've done that, haven't we?
We did that one, and we did the Jack.
Yeah, we've done all that. I think.
Philip Midfield, well aware, and then we did that.
Yeah, I think we've done all that.
Oh, and the cure for cancer thing, but then we didn't really know who these people were.
Yeah, we needed to look at that. And just basically, I know that this is a triggering subject because it means we've all been fooled for a very long time. I
don't find it that hard to get my head around.
Yeah, but we don't watch a lot of TV. We're not invested in these people. If you've spent your life in love with Johnny Depp, you're not going to want to accept
that it's actually
Johnny Depp is. Yeah, you know.
Who was Johnny Depp? We did put that here. Let's just remind ourselves.
There's a lot of people that love.
So he is actually the same as Ralph Little.
So he's part of the
Royal Swedish family.
Royal Swedish family.
And he's also Ewan McGregor. And that's that same thing. You know, I know somebody who's had an intimate relation with Ewan McGregor. So we put that to Lee. And Lee's, obviously, we discussed that these people could be androgynous. Therefore, they've got strange areas down there, down bottom shop, haven't they?
Yeah.
But it's not definitive. He's saying it's not definitive that some of these people aren't male, aren't female, aren't this, aren't that. That base character could just be.
Or I think you went to the loo, but I said about they could easily get a man and put
like a double.
Yes, and
I mean they couldn't have skin suits on because obviously you'd have
or you just say here's a check for 20 grand.
Yeah, just every now when you can drop the fact that you've slept with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, who knows what goes on?
Yeah,
Who knows?
exactly.
But he said that guy plays a lot of the good-looking Hollywood, you know, Johnny Depp and Ewan McGregor, sort of good-looking actors.
Yeah, that certain look.
So have a certain look. Yeah, have a certain look. And what is the idea of all of this? Why would they
why
bother with this trickery? Just keeps us all enthralled, keeps us all engaged. Most people watch TV from the moment they get up in the morning. It's on, isn't it?
Isn't
in the
TV
house.
though? If you were looking down, right? If you were looking down on this, whatever we're living on, looking down at all of these boxes that we all live in, which is weird anyway, with people sat in a box within a box, watching a box of people in a box sat on a box. It's insane. Why would you watch somebody that isn't real, that you don't know, and take your information from them via a box on your wall? I've never understood that. Why would you get your why would you treat that as gospel?
But it's the master of programming.
To me, it makes no sense.
And we were discussing the fact that, like, my parents' generation, the baby boomers after the Second World War, and that they are the hardest to break with their brainwashing because they were brought up.
Experienced it.
TV came out when they were children, and it was new, and everyone got into it. In fact, a lot of people got a TV for the Queen's coronation. A lot of people clubbed together, and that was when
the Queen or David Attenborough.
When David Attenborough got coronated. Oh, maybe it was Elton John.
It was Elton John. That's it. It's when he was Elton John.
He always wanted to be a queen, anyway, didn't he? But yeah, so basically, you know, they sucked in that generation, and it is very hard with that age group. They do.
Whereas for me, I just think like people who I look after they'll know the front door colour of somebody on this morning and the name of their dog and the school their children go to. That is just weird. Like they know them, like they have an affiliation with this person.
They've invested fully.
Yes, in somebody that talks like we're talking to you now.
Yeah.
You don't know us.
No. I mean, you wouldn't invest in us.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is insane. It's absolute insanity.
And if you think about it, so if you look at it like that, instead of looking at the fact that we've been tricked, look at it like that. Why did we ever believe it all in the first place?
Yeah.
Why did we believe in royalty and famous people, and you know, where does all that come from?
And we are in this really strange space right now, where we are aware that we're being culled and reset. And I do wonder, have we ever been aware before? Have we ever had the technology to talk to people on the other side of the world and know that we're all being reset at the same time? Or do you think this is the first time that we've been aware, so we can actually...
I don't know, because I should imagine every time it's reset, they put us back to a basic, and we probably had been further in technology in the past, as we know.
Well, that's why I want to look at the resets to work out, because I think they did it in pockets.
In certain areas.
And this might be...
We need the dates.
The first time that it's all over the place. But saying that, if you've looked at the Atlantean legends and all that and obviously Noah, that was a
massive. That was a global scale. Yeah. Maybe they do smaller ones, or maybe the dates. If you look at, I don't know enough about the dates.
That's why
we look at the dates.
Yeah, I want to try and sort of work out if there's a pattern. And then I think they do mini resets, like the revolutions,
and to keep people in trauma.
Yeah, keep people in trauma.
Great and Fire of London, you know, doom and gloom,
social engineering,
poverty, suffering,
and keep us all. You know,
and obviously the world wars, they were obviously global again. You know, you've got
So I want to kind of sit down and somehow work out what the pattern is and where there's big resets, little ones, little social tweaks, you know, work and try and get some kind of a timeline.
Work out what it is, definitely. And the other thing, Lee is very, very lovely. And we think we might have convinced him to come on, because he's a little bit shy. He's lovely.
But I remember when you were shy, wouldn't you? You looked so stern in the beginning.
I'm like this, and I need to talk properly.
And you're looking at me like
I was very scared.
I know you're scared, but you were like got all schoolmarmy when you were scared. Yeah, strict and
had straight hair. Apparently, when I have straight hair, I go very schoolmastery. According to Will, he hates it. He's like, "Oh no, you're going to be mean to me."
I thought he'd like it.
And he doesn't like the straight hair,
doesn't he?
Because I go all stern. Apparently.
Do you? So he likes your curly hair.
He'll be pleased today.
And fun.
Yeah, apparently.
He'll be pleased. Good.
But what Lee did say. So happy to put some questions down below.
Yeah, please.
Because we all want to pick this apart, and the thing with Lee is if he doesn't know, he says he doesn't know. He has got a gift.
Yeah.
He sees something that we can probably all see, but he sees it much, much quicker. He is not he's very, very genuine. And when he talks about these people, this isn't just coming from I think. This is because he's studied for 10 years. Okay, so we don't want horrible comments or anything like that, but genuine, like we were asking, how if people have had sexual relations with these people, or how can they both be at the same place at the same time? You know, just
because these are the questions that we get as well.
But, and I ask these questions,
yeah,
because you know, I understand there's trickery, but it'd be nice for us to all come together and just really try, because if we can blow it out of the water in this country,
we could.
It would be a really
massive takedown. We need to take down the mainstream media. We've said this since the beginning of the Rona and all of that.
If we can just try and get everyone talking.
The biggest evil.
Yeah,
absolutely. We need to take it down.
So
and the actor base, if we can get,
and with English
out,
people, I know the Americans have done a lot on it. Let's keep this English. Let's work out what's going on.
Let's keep it British, shall we?
British.
Let's be British about it.
But do you know what I mean? People that are more relatable.
Yeah.
To British things. So what we'll do is we'll keep putting Lee's videos up on our Telegram channel because we like Lee's work.
Yeah.
And we'll put a link to Lee under this one.
Yeah.
To his main channel.
Yeah. But and please put your questions under, and when we get Lee on, we'll do a Q&A.
And respectfully,
yeah, make them polite. You know, we don't like rudeness, and
no mocking,
and we'll do a Q&A with Lee.
Oh, it'll be lovely.
It'll be really good. And those of you who are doubting, you know, please ask the questions.
And start looking ourselves. We could all have a little. You do Corrie, you do this, you do that.
Oh, it means I'd have to watch TV.
Yeah,
I haven't got any channels.
I haven't got a TV.
I've got a TV because my daughter, but there's no channels on there. It's just Netflix.
We do it with Netflix, yeah, but they're all acting troops.
But that's American. I want to look at Britain.
They're British, aren't they?
Maybe I'll have to chat someone up and ask if I can come and watch Corrie around their house every day.
Get a job as a carer.
Oh yeah.
And then you'll be able to watch Corrie in EastEnders and this morning.
I'll be wiping someone's bum while I'm trying to watch Corrie.
Oh, it's Elton. That's not the Queen. It's not the Queen, it's bloody David Attenborough.
That's not Beatrice, it's Gareth Icke. But that's my favourite one. You can see it with the teeth and the wide eyes. Can't you? You can see it though.
And that's the thing. Break the illusion, guys. Don't just be so clouded in.
Yeah.
What?
Don't believe what you see.
Just look. Yeah. Anyway, we're waffling now.
We're waffling. Right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Oh, quite a funny thingy, himajiggy. Boob.